Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1973 to 1976). Welcome back, baseball fans. Where are you? There you go. To the 1973-76 Carryover League. We got a series in the American League North, which has turned out to be a very competitive division, for better or worse. I think generally for better, because these are tough games, and both teams in this division, which also includes the Expos and the Indians, are all just playing tight, tough baseball, and they just cannot seem to get over the hump, as we like to say. Let's show what happened in Game 1. Series opens up in Detroit. Rudy May versus Mark Fidrich in this one. Rudy May has a day, folks. 6-hit shutout, 5 walks, 4 Ks. And Fidrich gave up a solo homer to Elrod Hendricks. Interesting. Doubles, DeLintz and Cash, and a homer by Hendrick in the 6th. That's all the scoring. 4-zip in that one. Okay, so Detroit's in the hole. -1. Game 2, Tigers win this in a walk-off. Tight game again. Sac fly in the first by Norm Cash. You get a 2-run homer in the 7th by Hendrick, and Ohio's looking at 2 road wins. But in the bottom of the 9th inning, Lynn McLaughlin stays in there because he's pitching great, but with 2 on and 2 outs, trying to complete his complete game, you do get the single. Actually, it was a 2-2 tie. My bad. He was pitching to get through 9 innings, and he couldn't get through 9 innings. Neither could Lolich. Lolich went 8 1/3. He was yanked, and Oscar Zamora got the last 2 outs, so he got the win. Tigers win 3-2. We go to Ohio for game number 3 of the series. It's Gary Gentry, a free agent for the Tigers, against Doc Ellis, and this is all Ohio players. And they're starting to thump and strut around a bit because they're finally, I mean, it's been a while. I mean, Detroit has been dominating this division for quite some time, and Ohio is the bottom feeder. Well, suddenly there could be a change in the guard in this thing. Bill Robinson's 5 for 5, scored 4 times, had 2 RBIs. 11 runs on 19 hits, battering Gary Gentry, Bob Veal, and Jerry Johnson. Doc Ellis and a couple relievers complete the game. It's 11-1. So Ohio, is it real? Is it a mirage? Well, game 4, they're thinking it's going to be a big day because they have Vida Blue, their ace, against Dave Lemanchek. And it just blows up on Vida in the 4th inning. It's 1-0 Ohio, but then in the 4th inning, Detroit hits everything. They just get in one of those 1968 timeline loops. I don't know how this team always seems to do this. Single, 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 triple, walk, 3-run homer, Willie Horton. That's never happened before. What do we have here? We have a Bill Freehan homer. We have another Tom Verizon homer. My goodness, we saw him on opening day hit a couple. 10-1, and boy, that 11-1 victory in Game 3 was short-lived. Tied at 2 apiece. So Ohio now that you've been, now that you've been humbled a little bit after strutting your feathers, what happens in Game 5? Another brutal 3-2 Detroit win. This one in extras. This is a 1-1 affair into the 9th when with 2 outs, Lynn McLaughlin again on short rest. After 2 outs, he can't get that final out in the 9th inning. It's a Mickey Stanley homer. Okay. Not a big deal. They have a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the inning, single pinch hitter Ivan DeJesus bunts for a single. Bases loaded, nobody out, and they break Fidrich. So Fidrich has to leave. So they asked John Hiller, hey, bases loaded, nobody out. Can you come in and help us win the game? Well, immediately they hit a ground ball to Norm Cash, who kicks it. So it's a tie game. So now it's like, okay, John Hiller, can you get the next 3 outs so we don't lose the game? And he does. Hiller gets the next fly ball to shallow left, shallow right, and a ground ball to second. So he does what they ask. Extra inning, runner at second. Ron LaFleur gets the RBI single. And then again, Hiller's second inning of relief with a runner at second. He strikes out George Hendrick. Carlos May ground out. Bill Robinson strikeout. And your Tigers have done it again. You've been watching this channel forever. You cannot bury the Detroit Tigers. We have tried for 6 years to call these guys too old, and it never works, folks. They're just always going to be around. Death, taxes, and the 68 Tigers. They're just going to be around. I mean, I think Norm Cash is going to be playing with Trammell and Whitaker, and or maybe with Miguel Cabrera. You know, I could see Miguel Cabrera and Dick McAuliffe and Ron LaFleur. I don't know. Tigers just don't seem to ever want to go away. Here's the standings. Look at this crazy division. Ohio and Detroit. This is great news for Ohio. They're competitive. They fight. They're at a 500. Could be better, could be worse. Same with the Tigers, Cleveland. The Expos are the only team recently to make a stand. They took 3 straight from Kansas City, and that's the big difference of these two divisions right now. Kansas City flopping, and the Expos moving up. Everybody else is hovering around 500 with plenty of baseball left. Which brings us today to Game 6. And we have a battle of lefties, folks. For your Ohio players, he threw a shutout in Game 1. It's Game 2. No, it was Game 1. Rudy May. It's been 5 or 6 days because he had a day off and he can't pitch on 3 days rest. So he has a 3.19 ERA and 141 innings in 1974 for the Yankees. And for the Tigers, making another YouTube pitching performance, Mickey Lolich, probably the all-time YouTuber with all the times the Tigers have been in the World Series. This is like start number 40 on the YouTube channel for me, I think. I don't know. 12 and 18, 377 ERA and 241 innings. Lolich. Now the two. He deferred to Fidrich. Fidrich's ERA is like a run lower. So Fidrich is the ace, and Lolich is the 2 as the pecking order. In a Game 6 in Detroit, Detroit started the year 3-1. Then they struggled. They came in under 500 in this series. They'd like to leave this series with a winning record. If they do that today, they'll have a winning record. If it goes to a Game 7, who knows, right? Leading off for Ohio is Pepe Mangual. 47 strikeout. Dave Cash, 2.5. Triple 107, double. He's having a great year. He may be the all-star second baseman. Dan Driesen, 58, flies to center. And Ike Brown, 37's a walk. 2 on for Bill Robinson. 2-10's a single to left field. Cash probably will run. Yeah, sure. 16 home run against Mickey Stanley. And he's going to be. This is close. This will be close. It's a 16, a 17, an 18. Just a -1 arm for Mickey Stanley. And he's saved to the dismay of Bill Freehand. He thought he got the tag on. And the ump was lighting up too high. On the tag, he's furious, but Mickey Stanley used to have a -2, -3 arm. He would have thrown him out. Ike Brown goes the third on the throw. And with 2 outs, it's George Hendrick. 1-7 the strikeout. All right, bottom of the first. Jerry Terrell, and in a part-time role for the Tigers, Jerry Terrell's hitting .424. 1-6, grounds the third. He's hitting 418. Al Kaline, 69, single on a 6, gets it. Ron the floor, 1-8, is a base hit to right field. Kaline, 12, will stay at second. For Willie Horton, here's a who. 1-3, third A. Dare I say it out loud, but Willie's struggling recently. Normally, he just kills it. The one thing about Willie Horton for me with Strat, if he's not hitting like 245, 250 with a billion homers, he's hitting 360 with hardly any homers. But he never ever seems to slump in Strat-O-Matic. Top of 2. It's Orlando Cepeda. 1-4 short. Speaking of slumps, he was hitting 180 to start today. Celerino Sanchez flies to center field. And Ivan De Jesus grounds the third. Bottom of 2. It'll be William Freehand, 47's a K. Jerry Moses, 57 is also a K. And Dave Chalk, 1-2, Lomax. In the third, it's Mangual, 32. Short A+ injury. Oh, had a lot of injuries in this series. So left field, it'll be Carlos May. May could probably even start against lefties. We decided to put him in a platoon, but Carlos May will replace him in the bottom of the inning defensively. Dave Cash, 46 left. Dan Driesen, 65. Triple 1 a 3, and he flies out. Nice result for Lolich. Bottom of the third, Mickey Stanley rolls the third. Tom Verizor, 66 is a K. And Jerry Terrell, 33, flies right. Top of the fourth, it's Ike Brown, 310, left. Bill Robinson with the base hit off of the Lolich card. George Hendrick, 310, left. And Orlando Cepeda, 56, is a strikeout. Another low scoring. We had the 2 blowouts in the middle. The rest have been 3-2 or shutouts. Al Kaline, 610. Catcher's X. Ike Brown's a 40-16. And that's going to be an error. Par for the course. Ron the floor, 69. Single on a 6. He gets it. They hit it twice today. Against Willie Horton. 110. There you go, Willie. Let's take a look at his card. Willie Horton. My goodness, folks. What a monster card this is. 298. 15 homers, 238 at-bats in 1974 for your Detroit Tigers. Just been tearing it up. Been to a few All-Star games. I think he was snubbed for the MVP a year ago, though I think he led the league in either homers or RBIs or possibly both. 110, double 1 to 5 is an RBI single. We have a tie game at 1. Now you got Bill Freehand. 510, short X. De Jesus a 3E20, and that's a fielder's choice, but the run will score. Runner at first, 2-1 Tigers, Jerry Moses, 69, single on a 6, this time he missed it. And Dave Chalk, 2-7, single ... on the Dave Chalk card will score the run. Wow. Or does it not? I'm sorry. Horton got fielder's choice. Yeah, it's just runners on the corners. 2 in, 2 on the bases, and 2 outs for Mickey Stanley. 2-8 is a K. So it's 2-1 Detroit in the top of the 5th. Celerino Sanchez. 1-8 is a K. De Jesus, 55, walks. Carlos May in the top spot now, pops to short. And with 2 outs, Dave Cash, 3-6 homer 1 fly ball, and he, oh boy, came close. The dreaded homer 1 fly ball. Kind of just wish they wouldn't even put that on the hitter's cards, you know. The pitcher's cards, yeah, sure, it's kind of cool, you know. Catfish Hunter, Tom Seaver, Jim Palmer, they always have homer 1 fly balls on their cards just to, you know, make their, just to take all hope away from the offense. But when they're on hitter's cards, it's rather depressing. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Bottom of the fifth. Tom Verizor. 46 is a K. Can the Tigers win this game and have a little 3-game winning streak? Jerry Terrell, 56 Ks. Al Kaline, 410. Homer on a 2. See? Against Rudy May, that's a flyout. Homer 1 to 2. Not as good as Homer on a 1, but yeah, we like to see those in pitchers' cards. Yeah. A sign of excellence. All right, we go to the 6th. Dreesen, 410. Lines are short. Ike Brown, 56 is a K. Will Robinson. Bill Robinson's a strikeout. I can't figure out this Ohio offense. They had the 10 runs in the one game, and since then they have been dragging their tails. Bottom of the 6th. Ron LaFleur, 2-6 is a single. He's going to steal the lead. 13 against the plus catcher. He's safe. Willie Horton, 39 left. William Freehand, 43. Pitcher X. What do you got? Rudy is an E0. Still have to roll for the road pitcher. And with 2 outs, Jerry Moses, 44. Second X. Cash, 2E22. Innings over. Another nice start for Rudy May. He's actually probably outpitched Vita Blue on this staff this year. As we go to the 7th now, crisply played game and fast moving, it'll be George Hendrick. 1-5 walks. Lolich is a starter 8. Always lean on him. Cepeda, 2-4, 6-4, 3 double play. And Sanchez, 111. Homer, 1-7 double. Celerino Sanchez. Let's take a look at the card. So here's a neat little story. Celerino Sanchez was with the Yankees, and they didn't keep him. They didn't want to bring him back. So instead of putting him on waivers, they put him on the retired list, which is just like being on waivers, but the waivered list is limited to 64 players. So if you still play baseball, but you stink, you go on the retired list. And every once in a while, teams comb the dregs of the retired list and say, hey, I need this guy. Even though he's not one of the 64 worst waivered players, he's a 3 defensively at third base. That's what this team needed. They needed somebody better than a 4-37, and that's what Celerino Sanchez does with power versus lefties. And 111 for your 219 hitting Sanchez. Homer 1-7 is gone, and we have a 2-2 tie. The Celerino Sanchez moment. We've been waiting for that. Ivan De Jesus, 47, is a strikeout. Stretch time in Detroit of what is suddenly a 2-2 affair in a series that's been just dotted up, tied for most of the time. We are listening to the wonderful Stevie Wonder LP Intervisions. I can bring it up here for you all. 73, my favorite. Yeah. He's Mr. Know-It-All. Don't you worry about a thing. My goodness. Golden Lady. Too High. Visions. You know, it's funny. It's like Higher Ground was a big hit. That's one of my least favorite ones on this here compared to all this other stuff. There's that concert, I think, in Berlin for this album on YouTube, which is, God, yeah, that's the one you want to watch, folks. I think it was Berlin or one of those German TV programs. Gotta catch that live stuff. Anyway, back to the game. 2-2, bottom of the 7th. Rudy May will continue. He is also a starter 8, as is Lolich. Very similar cards and pitchers. Here's Dave Chalk. 1-5. Let's take a look at Dave Chalk in what is arguably the best card of his career. If you add in the defense and the offense together, he's a 1-12 third baseman. He's the heir apparent in our reconstruction to Aurelio Rodriguez, who got snatched up by the Las Vegas expansion team. So Tigers are looking for defense at third. They found Dave Chalk. He also hits 273. I think he was an all-star for the 75 Angels. Homer 1 to 10, double the rest, and it's gone! A Dave Chalk moment, and our third baseman have hit home runs in the 7th inning. That's right. Celerino Sanchez and Dave Chalk, folks. Jot it down somewhere. All right. Mickey Stanley. 33 flies to right. Tom Verizon, 1-7, rolls to third, and back up top to Jerry Terrell, who's 0 for today. 2-11 is a walk. He's a B stealer. He's going to take off with a lead, and he's safe on a 9. Al Kaline. 2-9. Let's take a look at Al Kaline's card of 1973. He's getting up there, folks. Ain't going to lie. He's got a couple years left. This year, he can still play excellent defense and hit lefties well. Next year, he's strictly a DH, but his bat will actually get better in the year he retires in 74. So apparently playing great defense and hitting compromises his performance here. But not against this lefty. 2-9, homer, 1 of 15, and he rolls the 15, Al Kaline. And Rudy May is come unglued here in the bottom of the 7th. Around the floor, walks, and that's enough. 6 2/3, finally, not a good start for Rudy May. They're going to bring in Mike Norris. Mike Norris will come on in the 7th inning. Former Oakland pitcher. Norris with his 76 card. 4-5, 4.78 ERA in 96 innings. He of the brilliant 1980 season. He'll face Willie Horton. 2 outs, man at first. Here's the pitch. 48, flies to right. All right, Lolich has a 3-run lead in the 8th inning. And I would like Hiller to pitch only an inning if possible. He went 2 yesterday. And so that would be nice. Carlos May, 48, pops to first. Got a 3-run lead anyway. Dave Cash, 1-5 short. And Dreesen, 64, homer 1 of 15 off of Lolich against a lefty. Doesn't have power. It's a single. Ike Brown, 65, triple 1 to 6 double is a double. 2nd and 3rd, and Bill Robinson, and that'll do it. We're going to hook Mr. Lolich with 4 outs remaining. We're going to go to Oscar Zamora. Plucked away from the Cubs organization in 74. 3-9, 3.11 ERA, 84 innings. He is considered the, in quote, air quotes, righty who gets righties out of the Detroit bullpen in between lefties Bob Veal and John Hiller. He comes on in the 8th inning. Oscar Zamora will take on Bill Robinson. Bill Robinson with 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. 43, left X. Now in left field, you got Mickey Stanley, and he makes the catch. Bottom of the 8th. Bill Freehand. 1-9 pops to second. Jerry Moses, 6'10", short X. Shortstop DeJesus, a 3-20, makes the play. And Dave Chalk, one of the heroes of the 7th inning, 35, flies to left. Norm Cash will come in and play some first base. He does it better than Freehand does. And we're also going to put McAuliffe in at second base for Terrell. McAuliffe could, yeah. He could actually play versus lefties. We just want to give Terrell some playing time because he's doing so well. And the 9th inning, Zamora will continue. Give him a chance at a save. George Hendrick. 67, pops to second base. Orlando Cepeda, 58, flies to right field. And batting for Celerino Sanchez, Larry Lentz. 3-7, Larry Lentz. It's a single. That worked. He runs down the second base and batting for DeJesus. Somebody better than DeJesus. Oh, we already had an injury, did we not? Oh, yeah. Would have been Carlos May, but he had to come in. It's got to be Elrod Hendricks. It's the last dude out there. Elrod Hendricks. Here's the pitch. 610 off Zamora, third X. And it's Dave Chalk, the 1/3 baseman. That's your ball game. The Tigers with a 3-game winning streak. How about that? We were right in their obituary. It was 2-1, and they were looking bad. They were looking old and bad. And Vita Blue versus Dave Lemanchek, you know, and a chance to go up 3-1, and the young Ohio team just could not get past these old timers of Detroit. We'll take this right to the stats. We'll give Zamora a save. Yeah, he gave up a hit. A win for Mickey Lolich. Like, that's never happened on YouTube. 6 hits, 2 runs. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Mike Norris inning in a third. He was untouched. Tough day for Rudy May. 8 hits, 5 runs. There's an error in there. 3 earned. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. 1019, 0108, 5827. 3726, 2637. And a game 6. And the Tigers, in the first series of the year, they beat Oakland 3-1, and it was like, ooh, look at the Tigers. Then a bunch of nothing after that. And now, after taking 4 of 6 from Ohio, they're still just a game over 500. So they still are a negative, you know, since that opening series. And I think Ohio is finally back under 500 after a nice little stint. They're not ready. It's clear after that, you know, folding up in those 3 games. Let's start with the Tigers. They're 11-10, hitting .249 with a .395 ERA. Yeah, that's not particularly good for them. You know, they're not World Series fodder. They could get into the playoffs again. How's Fidrich doing? He's 3-3, 21 runs in 53 innings. That's good. He's got a .356 ERA. Lolich, that's his first win. He's 1-3. Dave Lemanchek's been pitching well. Zamora and Hiller are 3-1 with 4 saves. They've done a nice job at the back end. Willie Horton has 4 home runs. Is Tom Breiser going to the All-Star game as an American League shortstop? He has 6 home runs in 21 games and 13 RBIs. And he's 21 for 67. My goodness. And he leads, oh my goodness, he leads the Tigers in hits. Ron LaFleur's got 8 stolen bases. He also has 23 strikeouts. Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff looks nice, but that's what a 500 team kind of looks like. And your Ohio players are 12-13. In a really weird anomaly, he played 25 games. Tom Hall, the closer, has won 3, lost 4, no saves. The closer. So it's always been these. You could see this 12-13. They could be 10-16. They could be 16-10. I don't know. I mean, if they're playing all these close games, decided by how Tom Hall does, and mostly he hasn't been that good. Vita Blue's 1-3. He has not returned on the investment of that big trade they made with Oakland to get him. He's had a losing record the whole time he's been here. Offensively, Bill Robinson, 7 homers and 19 RBI. He's got 37 hits. He's 37 for 100. Dave Cash has 41 hits in 25 games. 41 for 109. He's probably going to the All-Star game. They are hitting .287 with a .378 ERA. You see what I mean? I mean, statistically, they probably are better than Detroit. They've scored 114 runs. They've given up 106. So the Pythagorean, whatever you want to call that, would give this team a winning record. For the team who had the worst record in the league a year ago and had the first pick in the draft. So that is great news for Ohio. They just need to figure out how to win more close games. Speaking of net runs, the Tigers. They have 79 scored, 91 given up. They should have a losing record, but they're the Tigers. They often pull victory from the jaws of defeat. And when we look at the standings, the Expos the young and the old. It's a nice mix of the Bob Bailey, Ron Fairley, the old Expos, being joined by Gary Carter, Larry Parrish, Ellis Valentine of the young Expos. And it's working out well thus far in this division there. But for now, break up the old man of Detroit. Do not write that autopsy. I'm telling you, folks. We've been throwing mud on this team for years. They defeat Ohio 4-2. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.